In the United States, nearly 1 million children go missing every year. That number is probably inaccurate due to the children that go missing and are unreported. When adults go missing, it is sometimes by choice due to financial reasons, and in some cases, to start a new life. But sometimes adult cases are not treated as urgent as children. Over the course of history, children and adults have gone missing under some very scary circumstances. Here are 7 of the scariest unsolved missing person cases. Harold Holt was the 17th Prime Minister of Australia. On December 17, 1967, while out relaxing and swimming with his family and friends, he went missing. One of Australia's largest rescue operations was launched, but no sign of Harold was found. There are many that suspect foul play, while others believe he either succumbed to elements or had a medical emergency of some kind. Harold was presumed dead, and new Prime Minister was sworn in. Harold left behind a wife and 3 kids. Ironically, a swimming complex was named in his honor, as he was an avid swimmer. Many Australians find this memorial odd because his disappearance while swimming was weird. Yet, he has a swimming facility named after him. The case of Natalie Holloway has perplexed and provoked the curiosity of millions around the world. In 2005, Natalie disappeared while on a high school graduation class trip to Aruba. She had been at a club with friends and was last seen getting into a car with 3 local men. When Natalie missed her flight back to the U.S. the next morning, the alarm was raised. Natalie's parents immediately flew to Aruba to look for their daughter. They found her belongings packed and ready to go in her hotel room, but no sign of Natalie. The authorities focused on the 3 well-known young men who were last seen with Natalie. In 2012, Natalie was legally declared dead, an act initiated by her father. Her mother has contested the declaration and was very much against it because Natalie has never been found. It was just another day in December for Paula Welden when she decided to go for a walk off campus. She went to go hike a long trail in Bennington, Vermont. She had never been on this particular trail but was an avid outdoors lover. She hitchhiked her way to the start of the trail. Several witnesses reported to see her at various points along the trail. Her college roommate noticed that she wasn't in her room the evening but assumed she was studying late in the library. The following morning, campus administration was notified of her absence. School was canceled for the next few days while students and professors helped in the search efforts for Paula. Paula's father was a well-known guy in the community and fueled speculation that she might have been kidnapped and held for ransom. But as the days passed and no ransom note was presented, that speculation began to fade. Years passed and investigators were no closer to finding Paula than they were during the first few days of the investigation. On June 4, 2010, 7-year-old Kyron Horman disappeared from Skyline Elementary School. His stepmother was at the school in the morning attending his science fair. She took a photo of him standing at his science project. That photo is the last known photo of Kyron. His stepmother, Terry, said that she said goodbye to Kyron and watched him walk towards his classroom. He never reached that classroom. Suspicion immediately fell on Terry. After investigators started narrowing their suspects, Terry was looking like the prime suspect in Kyron's disappearance. The Horman's landscaper came forward and said that Terry had offered him a great deal of money to kill Kyron's father, Kane. The police tried to get the landscaper to catch Terry on a tape admitting to it, but were unable to. Kane became devastated and terrified of his wife and asked the courts for immediate divorce and restraining order against Terry. It was granted. Kyron's biological mother is convinced that Terry knows where her son is. There has been no new evidence to come up other than the picture of Kyron at the science fair, minutes before he went missing. Zebb Quinn went missing in January 2000. After Zebb finished his shift at Walmart, he met his friend Robert Owens to go look at a car he was considering buying. They each drove separately to go look at the car. However, on the way there, according to Robert, Zebb received a page and flashed his headlights at Robert to pull over. He told Robert he needed to go find a phone. He found a phone and made a call. Robert said after the call, Zebb appeared distraught. He said he was going to have to look at the car another time. As he was leaving, he accidentally hit Robert's car. It was a minor fender bender, so no report was taken. Robert and Zebb parted their ways. The following morning, Zebb was reported missing by his mother. Police traced the call Zebb received to the home of Zebb's aunt. Strangely though, Zebb's aunt was not at home. Zebb's aunt was at the home of Zebb's new girlfriend's mother having dinner with his girlfriend Misty, her mother, and her ex-boyfriend Wesley. Zebb had told his family that Wesley was abusive to Misty. Zebb's aunt reported that while she was at dinner, her home had been broken into. The only thing was nothing was stolen. Whoever the intruder was rearranged a few picture frames and placed the call to Zebb. If the police didn't think this case could get any weirder, then they were wrong. 2 weeks after Zebb's disappearance, his car was found near his mother's workplace. A pair of lips were drawn on the back window, and a lab puppy was found inside. This new discovery definitely threw investigators for a loop. In 2015, Christy Scone, a contestant and expectant mother on a Food Network television show, and her husband were found murdered. The murderer? Robert Owens. Investigators found their remains in his stove and on his property. The motive has never been figured out. Did Owens also murder Zebb? Rebecca Coriam worked on a Disney cruise liner. On March 22, 2011, Rebecca was on a ship at 6 a.m. This is a known fact because Disney has produced footage taken from the ship's security cameras showing Rebecca in the lobby talking on the phone before walking off, never to be seen again. Disney claims that they know for sure that Rebecca fell out of the cruise swimming pool and was washed overboard. How do they know this? That is the question because they also claim that they do not have any security cameras in that area of the ship. There's also the fact that there's a huge 7-foot tall barrier from the crew swimming to wide open ocean. She would have had to scale the wall and knowingly jump to her death or be washed overboard by a gigantic 40-foot tall wave. Neither are very likely. The family has said that Disney has not been truthful with giving them answers. Why did they say that they found Rebecca's flip-flops near the pool in which she jumped? But the flip-flops they gave to the Coriams were definitely not Rebecca's, wrong size and style. And why aren't they giving the Coriams access to the security camera footage from the entire ship? What's on the security footage? Rebecca's case is not closed, but there's been no new evidence. The case of Madeleine McCann had made huge international headlines when she disappeared May 3, 2007, from a resort in Portugal. She was asleep in her bed while her parents dined in a restaurant with friends less than 200 feet away. Her parents checked on her every half hour until the alarm was raised when her mother, who returned from their resort apartment screaming that Madeleine was missing. The resort staff and the guests immediately began searching in the resort and surrounding area for the 3-year-old girl. Police descended on the area and began interviewing staff and searching waterways. The parents remembered that whenever they checked on their bedroom, the door would be open and they would close it. It seemed unlikely that Madeleine or her 2-year-old siblings were getting up and opening the door. Also, when Kate checked on her children the last time and discovered Madeleine's empty bed, she also found the window was wide open. There have been no solid leads in Madeleine's disappearance. Was she kidnapped for trafficking? Killed in a robbery gone wrong? What happened? It is almost as if the little girl just disappeared off the face of the earth.